Executive producer of Showtime's Quote All Access reality series was ordered to appear at the Nevada State Athletic Commission's monthly meeting on Tuesday to answer questions about scenes in the second episode of the series leading up to his rematch with Marcos Maidana. The episode contained scenes that showed unsafe training conditions at Mayweather's Las Vegas gym, as well as marijuana being smoked in his presence by a group of girlfriends at his Las Vegas home. Mayweather testified that both were staged for the television show, saying, with all access, we're able to chop and edit footage the way we want. Showtime declined to comment on that report. So, Stephen A., are you saying, or do you believe, rather, that this was staged?
Some of it. I don't put it past Floyd Mayweather Jr. or his camp to put themselves in a position where they think that whatever they do, no matter how outrageous it may or obnoxious it may appear, sometimes that sells in the sport of boxing. But let's be clear about something here. It's not to be excused. When I saw it, I was incredibly alarmed. I texted some people that I know there and was like, what the hell are y'all doing? But I didn't hear back from anybody. I will tell you that, you know, when I saw the marijuana being smoked, I was shocked because I have been around Floyd Mayweather in both public and private settings where things like that would never be tolerated. I was shocked to see that. The one thing that I don't believe when he talked about it being staged is the fighting. How you go until you can't go anymore. I've never seen it, never personally witnessed it, but it's incredibly believable that that kind of environment takes place because the attitude is that we can withstand and endure what the average common fighter can't. And if that means going 31 straight minutes for a round and going on and on and on until somebody can't go anymore, definitely I think that that's a situation. I don't think that was made up. I don't think that was something that was fabricated for the cameras, for the all access on Showtime. But in the end, it's hard to decipher what is real and what is not. What we do know is that it was incredibly alarming to see. It was incredibly irresponsible to air. And obviously he was called on the carpet for it by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. I believe that was them, and I don't blame them for doing so. I'm concerned about what I'm seeing. I'm concerned about the Floyd Mayweather, the boxer. The Floyd Mayweather, once this is all over, people around him, a lot of these folks I've seen, and some of them I've known, like his security detail and guys like this, people just doing their job, working hard, trying to do the right things. But they are there to serve at the pleasure of Money Mayweather. He's the man that runs the show. They have to do ultimately what he dictates they do, so the buck ultimately stops with him. So when we see something like this, and it's incredibly alarming, there is no need for us to look any further than Floyd Mayweather himself. And I think that at this particular moment in time, Skip, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm growing very, very concerned about him because the person that I see was all about, again, I can't speak to the things that, alleged to have happened. He was, obviously convicted, pled guilty with domestic violence. He had to do his time. Yeah. I sat down and did an interview with him for SportsCenter. He spoke about that. There are certain things that he denied, certain things that he admits, but in the end, he deserves to be criticized for the position that he put himself in, whatever level of truth gets attached to that. I'm not here to give him a pass on that. He owns that. The Floyd Mayweather I know and love, I'm talking about strictly the boxer. And the boxer that I see, I don't see the same discipline. I don't see the same focus. Yep. I see a guy that's allowing himself to be entirely too distracted by all of this stuff around him. Yep. And in the end, he has nobody to blame but himself because he is the one that's calling the shots. I have never seen somebody, a professional athlete, more fixated on power than him. He loves calling the shots, which means that the buck stops with him. He's responsible for all of this. No pass this way.
I respect you for expressing your public alarm over a man that you do love. And I respect your love for him as a boxer. But all of a sudden, you're not sure whether he's a boxer or just more of an entertainer now. And that's my question. Because when I first read this story last night, I must admit, I chuckled because you're often talking about how Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the greatest defensive tactician we've ever seen in the sport. And
yes.
this was ingenious defense to say, oh, it was all for show.
Yeah.
We made it all up.
Yep.
But now you're telling me that the two scenes in question in All Access, one you buy and one you're not sure about because you don't think Floyd's a marijuana smoker. That's not what he does. So you're saying, okay, you're buying that he faked that scene. I'm not sure why. I don't know what good. Does that sell more pay-per-view buys? Does that make people say,
how does it benefit?
Floyd, yeah, he's got his girls there and they're all smoking marijuana. I'm not sure what the message is. That does what for his persona,
Nothing.
for his pay-per-view buys? I don't know what. But again, the other was a pretty serious charge, as the commission would see it, that in your gym, the doghouse as they call it, you're going to let these guys basically fight to the death. I mean, it's not literal death, although it could come to that, because from what was described, I did not watch All Access, but I read about these scenes, and a couple of guys got mad at each other, and one guy's brother stepped in, and they were basically, it felt like fighting to the death. And the Nevada Commission is saying, no, you can't do that. And so you're saying you buy that part of it, so it makes me think, well, maybe I should buy the marijuana scene, too.
Well, let me say this, Skip. First of all, handlers, a business manager like a Leonard Ellaby, who's very thorough and good at what he does, even though who knows what that relationship is going to end up being based on the reports that you're reading. We all know that Al Heyman is legitimate. But the bottom line is simply this. I don't know what Floyd Mayweather to expect at this juncture from fight to fight.
Yeah.
He is still a magician and a genius in the ring. That's what I love about him. I also love the fact that he is about his business. He is about making money and calling the shots, because in the sport of boxing, devoid of any kind of representation in terms of a fighting union, a boxing union or something along those lines, I applaud a guy that has the genius about him to step out on his own and find a way to do what promoters and others were trying to do to make money off of him. Now he keeps the money for himself. I applaud all of that. And when I talk about my love for Floyd Mayweather, I'm talking about the boxer, I'm talking about the businessman. I do not love a guy that is sitting out there acting the way that he's acting with a little daughter right near there, hearing all of that. I do not love the stuff that I saw in All Access. A matter of fact, the Floyd Mayweather I've been around is a hell of a lot better than that. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but I will tell you this. We need to be, for those of us who want him to win, because I don't want him to lose to Pacquiao.
All right.
Let me be clear. I want him to beat
we gotta
Pacquiao.
get up out of here.
I believe that Floyd Mayweather, the rate he's going, if he don't get his act together, he's going to lose.
More First Take after the break, folks. We'll be right back.